I want to introduce you to AL. So if you want to learn AL, the first thing you need to do is you need to be able to go to your Google and you'll be able to download the software that you require. So that's what you want to do. You go to AL, you go to statistical software, and you have the AL project.org as your starting point. I'm going to select the cloud. I'll just take you through the process. And then it shows I have three, the Linux, the Mac, and the Windows. I'm for Windows because that's my operating system. Install AL for the first time. That is your first time. And off you go, you click here, and it will download it into your machine. And once it downloads the software into your machine, like it's doing now, then you just click the file that has been downloaded, and you'll be able to install the software. And once that process is complete, the next step you go is now you want to download what we call the IDE, and I prefer using the AL Studio, so I go to Google and I look for AL Studio. Download the AL Studio IDE. So if I click there, it will take me to AL Studio. And if you want to think about AL Studio, you think it like an editor, just like the way you have a Word document. It will help you type and save all what you're doing. If I go down, I have 4 options here. I'm going to pick the AL Studio Desktop for free because I'm not using AL Studio. I don't have the AL Studio server, so I have a single machine, and I'll click download, and there it will download for me. So what have we said? The first step is you download AL. It's downloading still, but you download it and install it. Once you have done, you come and download AL Studio and also install it. Having completed the AL and AL Studio installation, we normally work from the AL Studio environment. And I'm just going to briefly mention a few things that we have. You see that your window has 4 sections that we want to keep track of. And one of them is the first one here. This is where you write your code in this section. This is a section to write your code. All the instructions that you want to be executed by AL. This shows you the history, the second window. You can see here. It has the environment. It has the history showing you all the activities going on. And then you also have the third section or the window. This is a place where you can get help on some of the commands or the instructions that you need to remember. The AL documentation is found on this section. You can install packages from here. We'll be talking about package installation in a moment. And then the fourth one is the console, where whatever you are doing up here, for example, if I come to the first part here and say I want to assign x as 2 plus 2, I know that the answer is 4, but it just tells me. So if I come down on the console and click x, it tells me that the answer is 4. So now with my 2 plus 2, I can save it. Why the less than and the slash sign? That is, I'm telling my AL that I want to store x variable as a sum of 2 numbers. You can write it that way, or you can write it this way, but most prefer putting it as that sign, because sometimes the equal sign sounds like it has to be always equal. So we prefer the first one, because when you're dealing with data, it's more fancy. We'll talk about that later on also, but for now, this is the console. This is where you save your code. This is where you see your history. You can see the activities I've been performing being shown here. And then on this section, it tells me a number of things. For example, I'm looking for a certain package or command. So for example, if I just say, I put a question mark here and say tidyverse, then I enter, then it will appear here. Now it could not be found because I've not called the library. So what do I mean by calling the library? Now when it comes to installing packages, as you move along learning R, you realize that you need a package for everything. So for example, I know a package called tidyverse, which is very good for data manipulation and wrangling. If I click here and click install, it will install with the dependencies. That one. And I can choose the CRAN where it will come from. At this point, I want it, this one has been set through the settings. So if I say install, it's going to install. This is the easiest way. Alternatively, if I wanted the package, I could have come down here and say install.packages, and then I type tidyverse. Then I'll enter and it will install the package. Once the package is installed, it is saved in a folder, a certain folder or directory in your machine. So for you to be able to use it in R, you have to come and call it. I've not installed because it's already installed. There's no need. So because I want to use it, I'll come and call it. Then I can click on it and then control enter, or click on it and then use other commands like this one here and the current line, and you see it says all selection control plus enter. So if I sell it, it will just call the package. What do we mean by calling the package? It gets it out of the directory in your machine and it brings it to RStudio so that you can work with it. Now with that, I can check different commands that I know or functions that are in tidyverse. For example, I can ask what is slice. Slice is inbuilt as part of dplyr package and also in the tidyverse. Tidyverse composed of a number of packages. So when you do all this, then you're able to work. Remember on the history, it shows you all the activities that you've been performing. So that gives you an overview. The other thing you could do is, without even starting to learn much, is you could go to the global settings and you could change the appearance of your screen, the sound, the font size, the colors that you'd want. You can come and change them here. You pick what font size here and so forth and so on. You could also, that is if you'd want to change. I don't want to change mine, but you can come and check here and then you go to appearance. Then check zoom 175, the dim, and so on. So this is all up to you to decide how you would want it to look like. But mine, I'll leave it as it is. The other thing I could still do is I could come to tools, go to global options, and then I come to pane layout. What do I mean? Remember, the pane layout, I have 4 sections and they are all being shown here. I can decide to change how they appear, and they will have some changes in them, and that will also have the layout changing a bit, and that depends with you also. So if you feel you want to do a few changes, then you could do that and you'll get it. So I'm not going also to change, but I also leave that for you to check through and do, meaning that you could move this where you're writing your code to your right hand side. You could move the console and take it also to the right hand side, and move the environment from the right hand side to the left hand side. You could interchange them if you go to the global options. So that's the basic introduction. So now next time we need to go and start using RStudio to learn R. Please do subscribe.